Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Gems of War Twisted Sister event, in which the Sister of Shadows is added to the game, as well as the Magnus in event keys that we're going to be opening soon. And also don't forget, Orpheus is still available in Glory Gem, Guild, and VIP chests if you want to go unlock him. He will be available until the end of this Thursday if you still want to try opening up some of your keys and attempt for him. But anyways, let's go into the two newer ones and all the event stuff. This is the one currently available through Glory. Comes with a red-purple trait stone. Earlier on in the game, you'd most likely want to get a fully traded Miststalker or even fully trait herself. Later on in the game, you'd most likely want to do this into either a Dragon Soul and or the new legend that came out last week, the Queen Titania, so that you can get her Fairy Fire. But anyways, as far as what this troop does, it is kind of a mix of Hobgoblin / Raven combined together. It deals damage to the weakest two enemies, and then if the enemy dies, you gain an extra turn. I assume you wouldn't be able to stack two turns over the top each other. If you just end up killing both of them, it'll still only be one extra turn. But she has a interesting combination, Stealthy plus Mana Shield, meaning that next patch she would have immune to Mana Drain and wouldn't be targetable as well, which would be a pretty decent combination. At this current moment in time, that trait combination is relatively weak, but Stealthy can be useful here and there. As far as her Arcane, that could come in handy in order to land that final hit, particularly if you were to loop or at least get a couple casts off of some kind to be able to get that either with Exploders or loop or any kind of thing to basically get her magic up just a little bit higher and then go for your kills, because of course she needs that kill to be able to get the extra turn. She does not have it automatically like what a Hobgoblin does, and also she's not targetable. She has to hit the weakest two. The weakest is dependent on whatever has the lowest armor plus HP combination. Are the two things that she'll end up hitting. But anyways, that is her. Mainly a mid-tier kind of pick-off troop. There are plenty of things that are better than her, but you do gain 5 glory per battle that you use her in this week, so definitely a good idea, at least this week, to be using her. The main thing that got added, though, is the new one through event keys. Let me go open it right now. I don't even have a copy of it. A really good week to go through event keys. I know most people are probably a bit low, given that last week was also an amazing week to go through event keys. But there's a new guy in here. Hopefully we'll get him on the first 50. And, oh, Scion, you got in the way. Don't make me have to use more than what I have. This is the last of our event keys. No! Okay, we're going to have to work into gems. Oh, we better get that thing. I know you're in here. There he is. Of course, you would give me 3 Scions, but 1 Magnus, of course. I kind of wanted 2 Magnuses. I might need to go open more later. But anyways, this is the new guy. He deals damage to all enemies boosted by diseased and poisoned enemies, and then diseases and poisons all enemies. One thing that is noteworthy of this is he is now the first viable troop with disease that isn't a mythic. Of course, prior to this, it was basically Plague and only Plague, but now we have Magnus, and honestly, this thing's probably better than Plague in most situations. Not only does it still have the same impervious as well, but it has a pretty interesting last slot. It inflicts a random stats effect on 4 times or 5 times matches. I have not gotten to test this yet, but I assume it only afflicts 1 random troop with 1 random stats effect. So it could be any stats effect or negative stats effect in the entire game it could be afflicted with. So it could be Fairy Fire, it could be Burn, it could be Poison, it could be, yeah, you could Poison on top of a Poison, which obviously wouldn't do anything. It could be Freeze, it could be anything, could even be Silence, stuff like that. Could be useful. You would need to get a lot of extra turns, but given that it's so random, it could end up being useful, particularly when there's only like 1 or 2 left. You could get like almost every single stats effect onto a troop, which is also why I want multiple. So you know what? We are going to throw another 50. Hopefully we get at least 1 more. Hate that we have to throw this many gems, but I do want to have another one just in case. It better give me one. Ah, no. Okay, we'll open 50 more and that's it. If we don't get it here, we're done. Cutting it off. Give me 1 more. No! I lied. We're doing it again. One last time. How far will we go for 1 copy of Magnus? Too far. Definitely too far. If we don't get it now, we're definitely stopping. That's way too many gems. Oh! No! Well, at least we have more Sister of Shadows. Well, then. Rip. Okay. Before we just burn through every gem we have, let's stop while we're behind. Anyways, let's go and other things. Let's go over the Soul Forge. So, into here. So for this week, there is one thing that is worth crafting, and that is basically Christine X. Really good damage output, has a summon, works really well in Guild Wars and out of Guild Wars. It's generally used in almost every dragon team. One thing to note is it's slightly less viable ever since Glitter Claw came into the game. If you have Glitter Claw, you basically don't need a Christine X, but if you didn't happen to get Glitter Claw the other week, definitely a pretty good idea to pick up Christine X. It's still used in many other instances where you wouldn't use a Glitter Claw as well, particularly in Guild War situations because of its summon. Has stone skin, so really solid tank as well, not to mention it can't even be entangled, and it still has the same enchant mechanic. It has a lot of stuff going for it, and is generally a pretty high tier full AoE troop that can hit all enemies, so really nice for that purpose. Other than that, nothing else really too worth going for. Quite a few utility things, like even Plague, that's funny. The other diseaser, the disease poison. But yeah, nothing really too big to go for other than the Christine X, unless you've just been wanting something there. You know what? I am going to go for 50 more. It's bothering me. I am getting a second one. I don't care. We're going for it. We're going for it. Please. Please. I better see one here. Oh, okay, there we go. We got 2 more copies. For a second, I thought that was Scion again. But there we go. That kind of made up for it. 3,000 gems later. Rip. Okay. Anyways, event stuff. Oh, that is so disappointing, but oh well. Well, we have 10% to all humans, 10% to all rogues. There's not too many human rogues. I believe... No, Tyree's not even one. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Pretty small amount. Of course, the new one is, and she also comes with 5 additional glory every single PvP battle you do her in. Ideally, you'd mainly just want to farm up 1 trophies with her, just spam her with whatever farming team you would normally use, and just take it down that way to get all the glory you need. And all you have to do is kill a bunch of browns in PvP, a very small amount, and you can do it in Explore too. This week's event is ridiculously easy, so definitely do it. Comes with 110 free gems, not that much gold, 28,000 free gold, and 3 copies of a dead content trip, so I mainly just need it for the gems, but it shouldn't take you any more than like an hour or 2, especially given how many locations. Most people are probably going to automatically do it without even trying, due to the nature of how few you actually need to kill on something so common as browns, because obviously almost every team will be running at least 1 brown, so basically at minimum 1 per battle, probably even more, because of course there's teams that use multiple browns. Let's see, did I miss anything else? Events, did that? Nope, think we're good to go into teams then. Oh, there was one thing I forgot to go mention. There is one thing in the dungeon, or I mean the Soul Forge, that is worth going for these little stones this week. I believe it was on purple. Yes, it was. Lady Arnerial and Werewolf. Lady Arnerial is a pretty decent HP buffer for your team. She's also going to have immune to mana drain starting next patch. And Werewolf has a really interesting mechanic where it keeps converting back and forth. And if you do, want something, Sunbird kind of serves the same purpose. But Werewolf, basically what it does is it keeps transforming between this and a villager. And you could use it as a frontline tank to make sure that you never actually die. Sunbird serves a similar purpose, but Werewolf is nice for the mana generation aspect he has. He has a purple to blue as well as a brown to yellow? Or is it yellow to brown? I actually completely forgot. I think it's yellow to brown, actually, now that I think about it, because it feeds right back into the Werewolf. But yeah, it has the double convert there with some mana generation, which is pretty nice. Unlike the Sunbird, where it just does pure damage every single time. Speaking of pure damage and Sunbird, actually I don't think I used the Sunbird on the first one. Let me go repick this. But yes, you guys pretty much know how to one trophy at this point. You just keep repicking casual PvP, find something really weak, throw something generic at it that is quick, that has an empowered ability that will get you up and get the mana flowing, cast your one shot, and boom, you win. Or maybe need some follow-up. But that's pretty much what the one trophies are. Actually, yay, we get to actually kill with her. Go, double extra turret. Too bad that doesn't stack. But there we go. And, well, at least we got to use her for 1 double kill, if nothing else. So I can't say we haven't double killed with her. And, yeah, let's go into... Oh, Queen Mab. Oh, that team. Oh, I almost feel like repicking. Really? That's the team that we're going to be up against initially? I guess I'll use the stronger one. I didn't want to have to use the one I'm showing with the Mythic first, but I'm going to be throwing this down first. Gorgolfa, Sinister of Shadows, Worldbreaker, Glitterclaw. This was the one I was hoping to use to farm her in actual 3 trophies. So here it is. Okay, we'll go and... what do we even need here? What do we even need? I want to go for Gorgolfa, but for the obvious reason. Can't really take too many things because the color kind of isn't around. That would help. Well, take that. Nice skull, nice color. It has a drain, so rip. Okay, that's already a fail. Team's going to be annoying off the bat, isn't it? Pretty much. It looks like it's going to get started. I'll go take this green because I really don't want it to get going. So hopefully we'll keep it at bay. Doing okay with that so far. I can't take that or else he's just going to get the gigantic thing right there of all the greens. Definitely can't let that happen. We'll take some of our own green. No way to directly counter him out at the moment, but we'll go for a bunch of manas. One little poke away from the final bit of mana that we need, and we can take it for free right there. So this will finally get us rolling. Then we can just throw that, and hopefully that will be everything we need to actually get this going now. It doesn't look like it completely. We do have World Breaker now, so it looks like we can go into that, hopefully into the burns, and then we can just go crazy. Though no alignment at the moment. Oh, can't take that, but we can take it the other way. No alignment, but we do have a board clear again. And do we have an extra turn offer yet? No. Every single time we cast, our damage does get higher, which is nice. That's one pretty interesting thing with the arcane. So if we were a little bit low, we could just keep spamming other abilities, and even if those other abilities don't do damage, she might become in range of being able to kill. Also, Fairy Fire would help quite a bit with that. We're supposed to be Fairy Firing. Haven't had the single chance to cast it because it hasn't really given me one. Looks like we're just World Breaker into this. But yeah, the Fairy Fire would also make it a lot easier for her to do the extra turn, simply because you'd be doing 50% more damage. So like right now, she'd be doing 245s instead of 230s, which would, of course, make it a lot likelier that you would actually get the final kill that you need to gain that extra turn. I like every single time I've casted her, it's been for double kill, but it hasn't been able to utilize her extra turn because it keeps winning as the final blow. But anyways, oh no, not another annoying Queen Mab team. Oh, the exact same thing. That's starting to get really popular. Unfortunate. So let me go try this new guy. I haven't even leveled him yet. Obviously, we just got him and wasted like 3,000, 4,000 gems, but we have him. Actually, I've wasted more on him than I do on some mythic Skush. But where did he go? Magnus, I believe was his name. Let's go test him. So these 3 copies better be worth it. At least we have 3. But we'll go get that. It had at least been 6 for how many gems that was, though. But we'll go get him traded. Obviously, he uses purple and brown, as his colors suggest. Get that impervious, get that stat infliction. I kind of want to test one with 2 now. I don't really know what team to do that with, but I'll go make one on the fly. Might as well. We'll go do it after these. So let me go plop both of these in, and then we'll go make some random team with 2 or 3 of him. No, maybe just 2 for now. Oh no, should we test 3? You know what? We got 3. We're gonna test 3. Let me go do what is that then? 3 with Giant Spider. We're doing it. I don't care. We're doing it. If it's gonna cost us that much for him, we're gonna enjoy it. Okay, we'll go get that in there. Get the Frozen banner. I'll go show realistic teams after this. Obviously, this isn't really that realistic, but we got him. We're gonna do it. I just want to see... Oh, we can easily get infinite stats on a... stats effects onto a single troop. Okay, it needs to not be against that team. If we're gonna do this here, that'll be a little bit more tame. So, okay, we're good to go. Got it on the Frozen banner, all in on the Giant Spider, get the Magnuses going crazy, and we go from there. So, Magnus, of course, inflicts 1 stats effect every single extra turn. Our goal... Oh, should have gone Green Seer Giant Spider combo, actually. Oh, that would actually have been quite a bit better. Oh, well, we'll just win the normal way. I do actually have a team that's going to be using the Giant Spider, Green Seer Giant Spider combo. Haven't used it for a while. Pretty nice combo. There aren't too many things that really need to run it these days, but it's definitely pretty fun to use. As you can see, we can inflict random stats effects. We have a random Hunter's Mark all the way on 3rd slot. Oh, I didn't think about that. We could use them for very easy... Wow, that's starting to stack a lot of stats effects. We could use them for very easy Hunter's Mark into the other troop that does triple damage. I didn't think about him as a easy way to apply Hunter's Mark, though you kind of need like 2 of them to be considered quote-unquote easy. But we'll go throw that down. He has a really decent boost ratio, too. Undead counter it pretty hard because it's immune to poison and disease on all undeads, as well as impervious counters it pretty hard. But yeah, because this thing poisons and disease and has a boost ratio of 2 times that I don't think I mentioned earlier. So this is basically really huge because if every single team can, or every single thing on the opposing team can have those inflictions, that would end up being a total of 16 additional damage full AoE, which of course is a pretty competent amount of damage. I'll throw that down, as you can see. Pretty nice damage output. Let's go through, get one more down, and there we go. Already got our Giant Spider up. As you can see, as they're getting lower down, we can get even more and more stats effects on them. Got Death Mark there, got Hunter's Mark there, got Silence, and it's just gonna go crazy. Freeze, Death Mark. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna need to do this later and just go have fun and see if we can go get infinite stats effects onto a single troop. He is now the best stats effect placer in the entire game. That was basically Dragonette for the longest time, which was actually a rare, but now it is definitely him, since all he needs is a single extra turn to do it. With that being said, let me go show a viable team that can actually do that. Oh, Spirit Foxfly. Hopefully he doesn't go drain crazy, but let's go show this one. Actually, I kind of already showed it because we went by it, but Green Seer, Giant Spider, Queen Titania, and Magnus. Let's give this a shot. Obviously, I have not actually gotten a chance to use this yet, as we just got him, but now we are. So let's go see what he can do. So right off the bat, we get a Fairy Fire and 2 random stats effects. Unfortunately, those stats effects can be the same, and it can be things that we already have. Like, we could accidentally Fairy Fire something that's already Fairy Fired. We can also Poison and Disease things that are already poisoned and diseased. It's somewhat unfortunate, but that is the case, as everything works. So move that over. There goes the Spirit Fox. Not much we could really do about that initially. There's not really any way to get that away that quickly. We'll go just take that, get a bunch of mana. That's all we really need to stack at this point. Start getting the combo ready, and should be good to go from here. Hopefully we have the Infinite Green Seer Giant Spider, so we could just place like a billion inflictions on them, plus full Fairy Fire. And that is the goal that we're going for. Unfortunately, I don't believe we have alignment here, which means we've already ruined our chances with that. Do I convert something? I guess we do red. That seems a little weird with Queen Titania. I could take away green, but that's probably a bad idea. I'm doing it though. Mainly because we're probably going to be able to get a Queen Titania for free, and yes we can. So we'll go throw that down. We can get him for a lot of damage as well. And that's almost wipe right there. Hopefully get enough alignment for the Green Seer. And as you can see, they're all poisoned, all diseased. Oh yeah, I didn't really explain what disease does. I probably should, because it's such an underused stats effect that quite a few people probably don't know. But it basically what it does is it's half a silence. It makes it so their mana accumulation is halved. So if they would have normally gained 10 mana, they would only gain 5. This is a bit glitchy at the moment though, because it's such dead content that no one ever uses it, so they haven't really fixed some of the glitches with it. For example, if a troop is enchanted, it would still gain the full 2 mana per turn instead of being halved at only 1. Additionally, if they have an ability like, let's say, a Fortress Gate or the Voice of Orpheus, if they use their 5 mana to all allies, it would not get halved to 3 or 2. It would still give the full 5. The only thing that actually gets reduced is anything taken from the board. So things like Explosion, Manual Wipes, Convert, stuff like that. So when he goes and explodes his ability, all the mana that he accumulates on all diseased troops will be halved for what it would normally be. Anyways, we'll go take the blue. He'll do that. We'll take a red there. See if we can go get a convert here that actually aligns. Doesn't look like it. We can go for the kill, though, just to make sure he doesn't do anything. We'll take that first, though. We have so many inflictions, I can't even tell what they're inflicted with at this point. It's just a gigantic stack of everything. Yeah, we'll go throw that down, see if we can get the Giant Spider. Get that going. Yeah, we could even just go 2 of them, get infinite inflictions on them just for fun. I think that would work a bit better with this variant, but we'll go throw that down on purples. What else do we need? What else? Well, that is a lot of stats effects. Unfortunately, the Hunter's Mark isn't on the first one, nor do we actually have a normal burn, so he's not going to die if we take a skull. Though, I think I'm still going to take a skull. We have -1 on red right now, because I was kind of expecting that we'd be able to do it just off of the converts and everything. So if I take that red, even if it surged, that wouldn't have been full mana for her, unfortunately. Go, Deathmark, kill. Nope, no, Deathmark, kill. What can we do here? We're going to move that over, get the blue, and there we go. There's the skull we need. And Hunter's Mark ends up getting the final little blow on it. That gives us that 2x skull damage. Hey, and then we got an Arcane Forest. That doesn't really go for anything too important, but free Arcanes are free Arcanes. And we got a victory somehow, so I'll take that. And for our revenge battle, it looks like we have the Humilities that we're about to poison. Very bad idea. There's also the thing that has Undying, which is immune to our stuff. So that makes this even worse. He is pretty bad against anything that does have that kind of immunity spam, particularly undead, particularly impervious. So we're going to have to actually skip this. No, the revenge rival. We are going to have to skip just because he's not really made to fight that stuff. So we're going to go do this mid-tier one right here. Actually, you know what? Let's try getting a slightly stronger one. So we'll go into this one, and it looks like pretty much drain spam. I don't believe anything's have immunities, or at least nothing that's immune to our kind of stuff that we're going to be doing. So we're going to be throwing this one down, which is basically just a Gorgolfa Glitter Claw variant with the Magnus in it. And hopefully, ideally, we will be able to do something nice with it. And again, haven't actually tested it yet, but we'll see how it does. live testing. But we'll go take the red there, take that down. Didn't get a surge on it, so that's not going to really work. And we'll go try, yeah, we'll go get it to full. See if we can get any good convert here off of anything that ends up dropping. Doesn't look like we do. We have the crystallize there, so that in time will help us. Purple into the yellow, even though we kind of need those yellows for convert. I will go take that right now. Similarly, I could use that if we could actually get it to that point, though at this point, that doesn't look like we'll get it there. So I'll just take that. Still don't have any converts. We'll go take the brown to surge. That gives us basically everything we need. Oh, he's going to get that, and there's not a single thing I can do to currently stop him, as it looks like, so we'll go move that for now. See if that gives us any way. We can go do it on purple. It gives another stats effect. Oh, Hunter's Mark on first slot. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten a stun on him. Of course, the chance of us getting a stun is pretty slim, but it could happen. We'll go through this down. That's Fairy Fire for everything that can be Fairy Fired. We'll go get ourselves some more stats effects here. Let me go move that one down so we can take another one. Get as many as we possibly can just to keep stacking them, because why not? Would work pretty good with a Kraken too. I didn't think about that. Green Seer, Giant Spider, him and Kraken. And the blue goes right back in. There's a lot of stuff that you can use them for, a lot of small things. He's a really fun troop, I do have to say. I am glad I got a little bit more, though I don't think it was worth 3,000 gems. But that was mainly just bad luck. Really bad luck. Go throw down Browns. Take ourselves a free extra turn. Since we have the 2x skull damage, even though he has 75% resistance, it's still pretty nice. Also, one interesting thing about Hunter's Mark is it does indeed increase skull damage based on explosions. So if we were to explode every skull, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it would do 16 damage to him. If it was enough to kill, I would actually go for that right now. Unfortunately, that is not enough to kill in this current situation. So our game plan is just throw full AoE. He's going to get a core Vasher, not really anything we could do to it in that situation. We have this. Don't really need to throw it yet. Might as well just get our mana back and kind of go from there and just see where that brings it. The only really annoying thing about mass stats effects with how they currently have stats effects is how on earth are you supposed to see the card? We can barely see a single one of their numbers because there's so many stats effects over top of additional stats effects. But yeah, it's really weird. I don't know exactly what their idea was with that. Hopefully in the future that will be fixed a little bit because it is so ridiculously hard to even see. Not to mention, you can't really even tell what effects are on them unless you go and check. And even when you check, it only shows 2 at a time, and you have to like keep checking or wait till it goes automatically. But it's quicker just to swipe it like this to keep shuffling through the whatever stats effects it might have on it. But anyways, what do we have here? Anything? Doesn't look like it. We'll just take the skull, almost kill that out. Poison will be the final blow to it. Still don't have anything with this. We'll just go take a skull poke. And anything else? Yeah, we'll go for the poke, and that's smash. Should be. He has Fairy Fire on it. And down it goes. And since we do have so many of him, let me go do what I just said earlier. Green Seer, Giant Spider, double of him, and that'll be the last one we do. Revenge, what are you? Well, at least he'll be around again. If we keep getting him, we should have him again pretty soon. So we can go against this one. We can get most of the stats effects down. Not going to be able to get Fairy Fire burning on a few of them, but that's not too big a deal. But let's go get it down. Let's go over up to this one. Green Seer, Giant Spider combo, boom. And banner, keep exactly the same. Get that there. And let's just go see if we can get every single stats effect in the game onto every single thing, pretty much. That is our goal. Let's just Green Seer, Giant Spider until basically the entire team is unseeable. Until we can't see their stats at all. Let's go for it. Yeah, definitely a fun one. Actually viable too, it's not just fun. It is the best random stats effector in the game, as well as a pretty decent AoE. He does end his turn, so not the greatest out there. Of course, anything that ends its turn tends to be slightly not as good as things that don't end their turn. Always better to have things that can perpetually keep going, but still decent overall, decent damage, decent AoE. Nice to finally see a disease that is actually viable, that isn't a mythic. Because for the longest time, it was basically Plague and only Plague, but now we have a Legend that is also capable of doing it, and the Legends are quite a bit more obtainable than Mythics, even though they're still kind of high up there in rarity. But I'll go throw that down. See if we can get a Giant Spider anywhere here. Looks like we can. Just keep getting those stats effects down. I still can't even tell what on earth is even on them at the moment, but we shall keep going. Greens, Seer. Do we have alignment here? Doesn't look like... Oh, yes, we do. We have it on the yellow. Good. That down. It's not full mana, but we can just swipe that, and that will. We should have it on red. Come on, all those reds next to purple, and none of them actually align. Figures, and I can't really convert out anything else, it doesn't look like. So, yep, gotta get rid of green. Sorry, Grain. Got to get rid of you. Hopefully enough gets cycled so we can go back to the other thing. Need more green on the board. Perfect. Exactly what we needed. Okay, I can't even tell what's on them. That's a good sign. Should I go kill them? Dude, should I kill them or should I keep going? I think I should keep going. We can keep going. Do I skull poke it? We stunned him, so it actually can do full skull damage. I don't know if I want to kill it yet, though. Oh, there's an extra turn right there. I don't need to end it yet. There we go. It's not full mana, unfortunately. But another extra turn is always nice. I will go through this purple. Oh, I do have to skull poke him. That's the only purple on the board. Sorry, Gargulpa. We're not trying to actually kill you yet. We're just trying to get the stats effects. Keep them going. We'll go get rid of reds. Go get this onto brown. Keep it going. Looks like the purple will be on blue. Never mind. That got completely ruined. And we have it on brown now, so we'll go do that. And what's our next one? I don't think we have any more alignment. I think we've used it all up. Okay, now we should probably just go and kill it already. So I think we've placed enough stats effects on them by now. Yes, I think that is a proper amount of stats effects at this point. I don't even want to try to count. Let's see. Let's just try checking this one. Silence. Stun. Hunter's Mark. Entangle. Poison. Disease. And Fairy Fire? I can't even tell. Oh no, Fairy Fire would look like that. So 6, 7? Oh, and Death Mark? I don't even know. I don't even want to try to count that properly. It's way too many to realistically bother with. But anyways, really interesting troop. Definitely a lot of fun. We'll definitely be messing around with it quite a bit. Seems like something that will work in quite a few teams, not to mention... well, for one, he gets automatic value because the extra turn. Not to mention he has impervious, so almost everything that ever gets impervious tends to be somewhat viable, regardless of what it actually does. And since he has an impervious automatic extra turn trait, that's a pretty nice combination to have. And yeah, he can place a lot of stats effects, and that covers every single negative one in the game. Everything from the most useless ones to things that are really good, like Silence and Fairy Fire. So yeah, he is a pretty interesting troop to say the least. Definitely worth trying to get one, though definitely not worth throwing 3,000 gems at, that is for sure. But anyways, guys, I hope you have much better luck than I do with it. We'll be covering him in the streams and all that other stuff. But anyways, if you still have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful week, everyone. Goodbye.